Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 20 career mode, and here we are for the start of our third season in the MotoGP class. We're actually still in the second season at this point, but we need to do all the preseason stuff for the third season in this episode. So we've got to sort out the Moto3 junior team, Moto2 junior team, and then of course my own team. So first of all, we actually need to set up a Moto2 junior team, so we'll press a button to set it up then. So we've got Lucas Turner as one of the team managers, Peithun Arsan, Tarago Ogawa, Hikaru Konda, and Daisuke Shimizu. So quite a few Japanese people there, but we'll have a look at all the stats, see who's got the best. So this guy's got 10 years of experience in the MotoGP world, is skillful in managing the rider market and seeking out new talents. This person's the same, so it's just the stats at the bottom. So this guy is a bit better. He's better in every category except the middle one. Here we've got a fairly decent credits. What's that compare? But the other stats are pretty poor. Again, quite good on a couple of those stats. I think that might be the best one we've seen yet. The 37 on the contract lets them down a little bit, and yeah, they're not so good. So I think we're going to go with Lucas Turner. He seems to have the best overall stats. He's got such a huge middle one, which I'm guessing is searching the rider market. That'll be why that's one of his points. So we'll sign him up. I think he was the best rated one as well with an A+. So then we've got the team managers sorted. We now need to sort out the bikes. I think should be a Kalex if we can actually pick a Kalex, of course. So we've got speed up, we've got NTS, we've got speed up again, we've got speed up again, and we've got NTS again. So no, we can't actually have a Kalex, but this one seems like the best one. The Parts Europe, you can see the recommended riders are A++ for this one. So hopefully the team prestige is also a lot higher, so we should be able to hire some better riders for that. So Parts Europe is ready to sign a sponsorship agreement with the new Speed Up team. The sponsor wants outstanding visibility, so you need to hire riders who can finish every race in the top 5. It also expects the team to place high up in the championship. So we need to get top 5 in the race, top 5 in the championship, second row of the grid, so top 5 basically in every session, except qualifying top 6. Upfront payment, they give us almost $1 million then. GP gold bonus, we get 69,000 per rider, that's good, and 321,000 for the championship goal. The NTS here, the team prestige is a lot lower. Obviously the Parts Europe is clearly the best one by quite a way. We only need top 10 though for the NTS Oakley. And yeah, quite a bit less on all the payments here. These two are pretty similar. I'm not going to go for the Speed Up Oakley because we've got Speed Up Parts Europe, which is better, so it make more sense. So I think, yeah, it's going to be between the Speed Up Parts Europe and the NTS Oakley because the rest are all Speed Up and NTS as well, but lower prestige, so they give us less money and it'll attract less good riders, I guess. But I think we should go for this one here. I'm going to go for the Parts Europe Speed Up, so we'll accept that. So that's the bike we're going to go with. Now we need to pick a technical director. We've got 5 to pick from. So we've got Clara Miller, Haru Ishii, Anong Sirison, Jack O'Brien, and Minho Park. So let's have a look. So she's an A+. She's the only A+, so she's probably going to be the best one. So I need to take into consideration here that it's a Moto2 team that we're going for. So electronics, probably not quite as important. Engine is irrelevant because I don't think you can upgrade the engine in Moto2. If I remember correctly, shouldn't be able to. Anyway, if you can, then it's unrealistic because they can't do that in real life. So the engine doesn't matter too much, so we can disregard that. So unfortunately, Minho Park, that's his big selling point there, the engine, where I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. This guy's good at pit management. He's not great on the frame, not good on the electronics. This person's really good on the electronics, but again, I don't think that matters a massive amount. I think this person's still the best. So they've got a really high engine stat, which I don't think matters, but it might. They've got the best frame stat out of everybody except this Clara Miller. But he's also got slightly better electronics than her. I think this guy is the best one to go for because he's good on 2 different fronts. I don't think the engine matters, like I said, but I could be wrong. So we'll sign this guy. We'll go for Minho Park, the Korean guy. We'll sign him up. So he's a technical director. And now it's about recruiting riders. So let's see who we've got then. So we've got Daisy Jackson, of course, is in our Moto3 team already. I've heard that she's really good in Moto2, so I think I am going to sign her. So she can be one of the riders in the team. Hernandez, I don't know. I kind of want to keep him in Moto3 for another season. We'll compare him to who's on the list, but we've got an A rider down near the bottom, so and also a B++ as well, which should be better than him theoretically. So we've got this B+ here. They were on the list before, Salim Desak. He'll increase the prestige of the team because he's a fan's favourite, but he's a prima donna, so he doesn't work well with his teammates, so I don't think that's really worth it. And if we look compared to Manuel Hernandez, yeah, so if I select Manuel Hernandez then as the main one and we compare him to everybody else on this list, there are a lot more to sign on, 42,000 more. They're a bit better actually in all areas though. Racing performance are a little bit better. They've got a lot more affinity in Moto2 and even in Moto3 as well. It's just, I don't want them to affect the results negatively. That's kind of the main thing that's putting me off this person. So they're obviously a lot worse. Actually, this guy's got better Moto2 affinity than Manuel Hernandez, but he's worse in all the areas. Although, of course, when he's in the team, he should get a boost because, of course, we've got an upgraded... Well, actually, in Moto2 we haven't, but in Moto3 we actually have got an upgraded team. So all these people will get boosts if we sign into the Moto3 team. They're quite a bit worse as well. Again, they're worse. I don't think it's worth looking at any of the C riders. I think they're just going to be too slow. So Louis Robbie... He's a lot better on the Moto2. He's better in qualifying, which is quite interesting, considering how good Manuel was in qualifying anyway. They got 72 affinity in Moto2, which is great. Not so good on the bike development. Reliability, I think, is around the same, because reliability didn't really play a big part anyway. They're better in the races than Manuel, and their performance obviously in qualifying is better. They're not good at communicating with the team though, so the research data may suffer. Move on to the next one then. Wow, they're a lot worse in bike development, and they're not as good. So if we're going to go for one of these, it'll definitely be this Louis Robbie. And then we got Tamatsu Akagagi. I don't know, I might have completely butchered the pronunciation of that, but they are absolutely fantastic. Look at the race performance, 71, 74 in the qualifying, 72 on bike development, 71 on reliability. They're a great test rider, so they can give us lots of research data, and they're a pole position genius, just like Manuel. So I think we've got our rider here, Tomotsu. I think that's who we're going to have to go with. I think I have to figure out how to pronounce the name. Tomotsu Akagi. Oh, there we go. I said it right this time. And then we've got Jay Stewart, who is not as good as Akagi. So we are going to sign Akagi as the second rider then. So that is the Moto2 team, sorry. So we'll confirm the team setup for this year. So again, we've got to enter the name of the team. So of course we go for biker racing. You're about to officially form your team. If you accept, your team will begin to race in Moto2 starting next year. You will also receive upfront payment sponsors to pay your staff, but salaries will only be paid starting next season. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. So that is the Moto2 team setup then, which has got a hefty chunk of change there. We're now up to 2,320,260 credits. So let's move over to the Moto3 junior team then, and go into the team planning for next year. So we took quite a while on that one. We are mostly sorted for here. So the team manager, of course, we've already got Nicole Bianchi in place, and she's pretty good. Nicholas Moore, he was better than this guy, so we're gonna refuse that guy there. So we've already got the technical director set up. Sponsorship, let's have a look here then. So we've got Parts Europe again. And this one, again, is really good. They've got... What's our team prestige currently, actually? So the team prestige actually is higher on the bike we've already got than that one. So if you see here, that's most of the way across. And so is this Parts Europe, but it's not quite as far across. However, I think it might give us an advantage. I think it might be a better bike, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they pay us a bit better. Obviously, the goals are a little bit harder to reach. That's the problem. And Manuel, well, I mean, qualifying is not his strong suit, and we only got a couple of top fives by the end of the season. But it kind of makes sense just to keep the whole thing branded as Parts Europe as well. We'll have a look at the other options then. So we've got GoPro, which isn't as good. These are all a lot worse. In fact, most of these are worse than what we've got already. So I'm not going to sign for any of these because the Team Prestige will take a massive hit. However, this one is already pretty good on the Team Prestige. So let's have a look at the payments then. So we need top 5, second row. That's a request. And then what they're actually going to pay. So we're getting 750,000 more in total. So that's quite a difference in there. I think we're going to go with this. We'll go for it because we built up the DHL Honda team to a decent level in the last season, so I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do it with this one, starting from a better base anyway. I think it's going to be worth it in the long run, so that's what we're going for. Obviously, we've got the technical director, so it's just the rider recruitment left then, so it is between, I think, these 4. I think I'm going to disregard these guys. Obviously, they do level themselves up, but we'll have a look who's got the highest Moto3 affinity. So this guy, Johnny Stewart, has got a pretty good Moto3 affinity. She's 74. This is the highest out of everybody. Even better than this Salim. And he's also a plus as well. So he's actually better than Manuel. He's good at his home track. Let's actually compare them all to Manuel. Just to see. So he's a little bit better. Well, we've just gone through and compared all these to Manuel anyway in the Moto2. He's better in every area. And I think he's the best overall. So he can be harmful for the team's prestige apparently. I'm not exactly sure, maybe we just won't gain as much, but to be honest, I'm not too bothered about that. because it's quite easy to gain it up, and obviously we started on a really low one last season anyway with DHL Honda. We're starting a little bit lower than we should be because we've changed to parts of Europe, but I think we should be able to easily surpass where we were already quite quickly and then go even further ahead. I think overall it's probably going to still be better. It's going to cost us a little bit more to have this Johnny Stewart guy, of course, but he seems worth it. He's got good stats, he's got good racing performance, he's got better qualifying than Manuel, he's good reliability. His bike development's not quite as good. Obviously, I think we'll have to restart the bike development, even though we developed the bike to a certain extent. It's a different bike, technically, even though it's still a Honda, so I'm guessing we'll have to start that from the beginning again, which is unfortunate, because that's what made the bike pretty good. By the end of the season, it was quite well upgraded, but the team is upgraded well, so it should make things a little bit quicker. So we'll go with this then, this Johnny Stewart, and we'll back out, and I think that's what we're going to go for then. And there we go, getting our money from Parts Europe once again. So we've now got 3.1 million. But that is all the junior team stuff sorted out then. So now I've got to sort out my own stuff. So if we search for contracts with factory teams then. So as you can see, we are using the MotoGP 2021 mod now. And you can see the renders and all the new team logos and names and stuff for this season. We've got free choice. Every team is interested. So we've got Ducati Lenovo, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, we've got Monster Energy Yamaha, we've got Pramac Racing, Tech 3 KTM. Obviously we raced with them previously in a previous season, so I'm not going to go back to them. We've got LCR Honda Idemitsu, LCR Honda Castrol, Sponsorama Racing. Then we've got our Sponsorama Racing for VR46 as well. Repsol Honda, Aprilia Racing Grassini, and obviously Suzuki aren't interested because they're still waiting for my answer. Obviously Petronas Yamaha aren't on there, but I had to mod my save file to get the Sponsorama VR46 to actually show up on this page, because that's who we actually are going to be racing for this season. I thought it might be good fun to go with these. I don't know whether to go for the regular Sponsorama though, because I really like the livery of it, but I think we should go for the VR46 one because it's just a novelty. It's a new team, isn't it? So we'll go with that. It's a Ducati as well. So we have now sent off our negotiations. Then we'll send off 1-2 for the Avintia team as well, just in case. So now we've got nothing to do except advance the time forward because we're just going to wait for that negotiation to come back. Well, we've got 2 back already, so we've received 2 proposals. They are interested. It's a lot less on the salary than the Suzuki team, and obviously the team performance is a bit lower, but of course we'll be able to upgrade the bike, and I think that maxed out is still better than what we got the Suzuki to, because we should be able to win pretty easily. So what are the actual goals for this? So top 15, top 10, 4th row. Well, we're not actually going to be doing qualifying this season, so we won't be able to reach the qualifying goal. So we'll sign here then with a Sponsorama Racing VR46, and we actually have to pay $750,000 to cancel my contract with Suzuki, which is actually quite expensive. So we've just lost a fair old amount of money there, because we're also going to be, paid quite a bit less as well. I don't know whether that will have affected my reputation with some of the teams, but now I think we pretty much just have to advance forward to the end of the year and then start into the next one. So I advanced forward a couple of weeks. There is actually something to do on the Moto3 junior team, but we have got a notification on our personal manager as well. There's some new candidates available. They're a lot worse on the money front, so we'll get rid of them. And we may as well refuse these people as well, because I think I'm just going to stick with Anita Perez. We've stuck with her throughout now, because obviously we got her signed a million times. When we had that glitch, she was the only one that could actually apply for the job. She managed to improve her stats herself somehow. Well done to her. But we'll go over to the Moto3 junior team then. We can have a look at the riders. So I think I did decide I was going to go for this 12-week one next, wasn't I? So that's going to cost us $250,000, which is just great. So now we've started upgrading this next thing. The R&D on the team development obviously is maxed out, like I said, so it should be a lot quicker for us to actually upgrade the Honda next time. Hopefully we can actually start at a fairly decent level already, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So now we will just advance into the next calendar year, and we'll obviously swap all the teams then. So then, we've got to head into the next season now. Just press the next button, and everything will change. We will officially start Season 3 with the Avintia Sky VR46 team. So then, apparently we've got to sort out the customization and stuff again. So obviously we've got our Moto3 and Moto2 junior teams. Probably going to have a mess around with the liveries on those. So then, I've now finished customizing both the Moto2 and Moto3 junior teams. Let's show them off. So this is the Parts Europe Speed Up Moto2 bike, biker racing, whatever you want to call it. You'll notice that both the liveries are pretty similar, because I went for a similar looking livery purely because the sponsorship is of course the same for both teams. So that is the Moto2 team. You can see it's the same for Akagi as well. We've given him a new helmet as well because he had the same one as Jackson. I think so did Stewart as well. I think he had the same one, also a new racing number as well. This is Manuel Hernandez, so obviously you can see it's very, very similar. Kind of want to keep the branding fairly consistent between the two classes. And then you can see Stewart as well with the HJC helmet. We've kept them all Alpine stars as well. No particular reason for that, it's just kind of how I've left it. But that is, those are the two teams then for this season. So let's confirm. And here we are at the Sky VR46 reveal presentation. Obviously you can see our teammate Luca Marini on the other side of the garage because of course the teams have to be split up separately. So technically Bastianini isn't in our team, but I'm going to class him as a teammate for this season anyway. Make see Marini standing next to his bike, me standing next to mine, shaking hands for the Sky VR46 Avintia team. And here is our junior teams, actually both presenting at once, which actually looks really, really cool because obviously they do match. The bike's a little bit more metallic in Moto3 just because it made me do that. I didn't actually get to pick, so they're slightly different, but the liveries are very, very similar. It actually does look quite cool to see them sort of mirroring each other. So here we are then, finally into the new season. We're in our new set of leathers, as you can see there on the screen. The Moto2 junior team there and the Moto3 junior team. So actually, yes, we kept the bike development, so the bike is just as good. The team prestige, actually, we've kept that as well. So I think I had actually misunderstood how this worked particularly, because it seems like we've kept absolutely everything. We've kept the same bike performance, we've kept the team prestige. It's just that I think this team will pay us a little bit more, and obviously they've got slightly higher expectations. So hopefully Hernandez, being his second season in the class, will be able to step up a little bit. Stewart seems like he's going to be a pretty good, consistent rider over the course of this season. But straight away, we can get into some more team development because the finances are now done. I was wrong, it does seem, about the riders thing because we've still got 9 weeks left on it, so it didn't just skip in the next calendar year. I understand why it doesn't do that. I don't really know why I thought it might, but it was just something I thought I'd try. So let's get into this then with the finances. So we've got 3 more things that we can potentially buy. Obviously, we can't buy this one until we buy the one above it, so it's between these two. This one is a bigger team prestige game, so we'll go for that. 13 weeks it's going to take. We'll buy that one, and then it's just these two left. A little bit more prestige every weekend, so that's this team sorted. I might have another tweak with that livery because it looks super silver, even though that's actually meant to be white. It doesn't actually seem like there's anything we can do about it, so we're just going to have to leave it a little bit silver. It doesn't look too bad anyway. It kind of looks a little bit different to the Moto2 team, so it kind of stands out a little bit. But this is where the fun begins. We've got quite a lot to do on this team because it is brand new, of course, so absolutely none of these things are bought at all, so we'll go straight the way for the performance in races. That'll take 5 weeks. We'll go for minus 30 travel. Ooh, actually, which one do I want to go for? I think we'll go for minus 30 travel expenses. It's probably the best one to go for first. And then R&D. We'll go for this one just because it's 4 weeks, so minus 2 weeks to unlock the engine nodes. Obviously, we're going to be upgrading. Actually, can we upgrade the engine? Yes, we actually can upgrade the engine in Moto2, so good job we went for the guy that was good on the engine, because that probably gives a lot of performance. So that's the one I'll go for then, since we are seemingly banking on the engine by hiring an engine engineer. I actually did think that you couldn't upgrade the engine in Moto2, because that would make sense in real life. They're not allowed to touch the engines, but you can in the game, so luckily we did hire a guy that's good on the engine, because that will be worth a lot of time. So we've got stuff on the team development upgrading on both fronts here. We should be able to get this Moto2 team pretty much maxed out by the end of the year, because we did that with the Moto3 team last season. If we have a look at the research and development then for this bike, I think the first thing I'll probably want will be an anti-wheelie upgrade, that's for sure. So I think I'm going to stick a bunch of people on the electronics just so that we get a bit more research data. We'll stick all the people that are 50. Actually, I'll stick everybody on there for now because that's what I really, really want. So we've got everybody on here. I just want to get a load of research data so we can get the anti-wheelie upgrades straight away, because as we know, those are the most important for me, at least anyway. Then we can probably have a look at just the engine. Then we'll have a look at the frame. Because obviously the engine does matter in MotoGP, but to be honest, I think the frame will matter more. I just want the bike to turn pretty well. But of course, I don't want the anti-wheelie screwing me over at all, so I want to get that out of the way first as well. So we'll just advance forward now to the testing. I'll stop if I need to actually do anything, if I get any notifications. So we've got 2 notifications on the team planning for next year for both teams here. So sponsorship offers and rider recruitment. There's no new offers for those, but there is for the team manager. Madison Walker, someone that's actually a little bit better But I'm not going to hire someone too soon because we could wait till a lot longer in the year to actually sort that out. Apparently there still is a notification. Oh, the technical director as well. I'd actually completely missed that. Liam Smith. I feel like I've seen that name before. Is he? Does he work for the other one? The technical. Oh, they're the same for both then. So it's people approaching for both jobs. Oh, we've already got a really good technical director on the Moto3 team, so if we can get another one to match him. I shouldn't have rejected those other people, should I really? Because then I could have signed them to the Moto2 team. I didn't realise that they'd apply for either. I kind of thought they'd be treated as separate, but it's kind of nice that you can sort of swap between. So if I've got someone that's too good in the Moto3 team, I can stick them in the Moto2 team as well, if I need to do that, so that's quite nice to know. So we'll keep advancing forward then. I'm guessing there probably will be stuff happening most weeks since it is so early on in the season. Right, so week 4, we should actually have enough now to start upgrading the first anti-wheelie. Yes, we've got 1,800 and we only need 1,500. So we'll stick everybody. How long is it actually going to take? 15 weeks so far with nobody on it. So if you actually have 0 people on it, it takes 15 weeks, I guess. I'm not 100% sure on that. Apparently putting people on it's now going to make it go up. I think I might have broke it. What's going on? Right. Okay, we'll stick a load of people on it just till it makes no difference anymore. 5 weeks seems to be the lowest we can get it. Oh no, actually 4 weeks here, so we'll keep adding. But yeah, it's actually still going down, so we'll just stick everybody on it so it doesn't take too long. Just a few weeks then. 3 weeks to do that. So we'll keep advancing forward. The test is next week, so we'll advance up to that point, I think. And then we'll quickly just assess if there's anything to do. We've got a notification on the team planning for next year. New technical director. Another A grade. Well, he's not nearly as good as this Liam Smith guy that's trying to apply for the job. Obviously, this guy's better on the electronics, but that's it. So we'll reject him. We'll just wait till another S applies, I think, before I do anything else. But now on the team development, actually, there is stuff to do. I'm not sure if there was last time. I didn't actually think to look at that. So we'll go for +3 performance in qualifying. Finances, we will now go for... We'll go for that minus 40 on the rider salary. -2 weeks unlock frame. Yeah, we'll go for that one, I think. There we go, just so we can upgrade the bike a bit quicker. So that's another 3 things straight away for the Moto2 team development. And Moto3, still another 4 weeks till anything else can happen. So the next thing to do then is to go into the winter tests. I don't think I'm particularly going to show much of it because I've shown it off the last 2 years. It's exactly the same, really, isn't it? I'm just going to get a feel for the bike and then just sort of pick the package that I think is the best one. So then we've actually done the test now. I've done a lap on all of the 3 different packs. So we're going to finish the test and I'll select the pack to go with. I'm going to go with pack number 2 because that was actually the quickest lap that we did. It felt the best, but as you can see, there's only a 10th in it with that one. And pack 1, I made a mistake on that lap. You can see the bike actually already felt amazing because I'm in the 57s in testing, which I'm usually nowhere near. So for us to actually be that quick already without any upgrades, I'm feeling pretty confident about this season. So we'll get a few upgrades on the bike. Probably won't need to max it out to make it competitive. It is a Ducati, so that's kind of what I expected. I thought it would be good out of the box because those don't turn anyway, so you don't expect them to turn. Whereas like a Suzuki, if that doesn't turn, well, it's slow on the straights, so there's nothing you can do. But the Ducati is quick on the straights still, so even when it doesn't turn, you can do a good lap. So we'll go with pack 2, and that's that pre-season test over. So that's all the testing done until Catalonia, of course. So that is it then for this episode. We've sorted everything out that we needed to. We've sorted out the Moto3 team. We've sorted out the Moto2 team. We've done the pre-season testing for the MotoGP bike. So that is it. That's everything I wanted to get done for this episode. So I hope you guys did enjoy that one. Obviously, I know there wasn't really any on-track action, but this was a pre-season episode just sort of sorting out everything that needed to be done for the next season. So we're now set up for the first race of the season. We'll do a couple of more developments, I'm guessing, before that, because you can see that electronics is now upgraded. We'll do the second anti-wheel upgrade, and then we'll go for the frame, and that'll probably be about it. The bike will be pretty good. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing any qualifying for this next season. We're going to be starting from the back of the grid every single race, because it'll just make it a bit more interesting. Last season, when I started at the back, it was way more interesting, way more fun, so I thought I'd give that a whirl. I might do a little bit of practice for Kimi Ring and Bruno, so that I can be a little bit more competitive at those circuits, because I know that in the past, I've been nowhere. I want to actually give you guys a good episode for those tracks, so I want to try and be a little bit quicker around those. And of course, we'll have 2 junior races before the main race this season rather than just the one last season. And I know you guys actually really enjoyed the junior races, so hopefully they will deliver once again. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy this one. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.